Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching the video from. The county, in case you are within the country, or the country, in case you are outside the republic. William Samoei Arap Ruto today nominated 51 individuals as permanent secretaries who will be working in his government during the first term. The position of the permanent secretaries in this country are critical for the president. And the permanent secretaries are actually the accounting officers of the ministries. So these appointments are very, very important. I've gone through this particular list and I've noted several things which I want us to look at. Because in politics, nothing just happens out of mere coincidence. The first thing which I noted is that William Ruto has appointed a young man from Karachuonyo, Ray Omollo, who will be the permanent secretary or the principal secretary, Department of Interior and National Administration. Ray Omollo will actually take over from Kibicho. I want to tell you something why the appointment of Ray Omollo is significant. Ray Omollo is just coming from nowhere. Of course, he's been somewhere. He's been a close ally of William Ruto. He was the CEO of Lake Basin Development Authority. He has been a close ally of President Ruto. When between 2013 and 2017, he played a key role for William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta. He has actually been with the deputy president all through. So he's taking over from Kibicho. It is historic because Ray Omollo will be the first Luo to hold serious government position at the Ministry of Interior or Office of the President since the death of Oyugi Ogango. For those who know politics, you'll understand that from the time Oyugi Ogango died, no single Luo has ever held any serious position at the office of the president. Ray Omollo becomes the first Luo to hold a serious position there. The moment I thought that someone like Wycliffe Ogallo was going to be promoted, he was actually removed from the office of the president to go and head prisons department. So for me, that's something which, in my view, is historic. I'm yet to understand why Ruto made that choice, but maybe he wanted a break from the Kikuyu Kalenjin domination of the office of the president, and maybe to appease the Luo nation, especially those from South Nyanza. Remember how Kibicho was powerful? That is exactly how Ray Omollo is going to be very, very powerful. So that's the first thing I noted. The second thing I've noted with this appointment is that William Ruto is checkmating Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi. How is he checkmating this gentleman? He's going to checkmate Rigathi Gachagua. Let me just confirm with the appointment. He's going to checkmate Rigathi Gachagua by Julius Korir. Julius Korir is going to be the permanent secretary, State Department of Cabinet Affairs, in the office of the deputy president. That is clearly checkmating. You have a Kikuyu there, you have a Kalenjin. Or you have a Gachagua there, then you have a Kalenjin who will be the accounting officer. So which means there is nothing Rigathi Gachagua will be doing without William Ruto knowing. Julius Korir is a close associate of William Samoei Arap Ruto. So look at it from that perspective. Then you go to the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. He has Aurelia Rono, who will be State Department for Parliamentary Affairs. Again, another Kalenjin, just to checkmate whatever Musalia Mudavadi will be doing in that ministry. Remember, it's possible normally, and it happened to Uhuru Kenyatta, that you can have a ministry, and as long as you don't have a permanent secretary who is allied to you, who is your confidant, then they can always do whatever they want and you won't even be able to know. So for me, there's no way you can convince me that William Ruto can produce a list, and he begins that list just by going office of the deputy president, there's Julius Korir. The office of the prime cabinet secretary, there is Aurelia Rono. Then he goes further and even checkmates the cabinet secretary for interior and national administration, another powerful docket held by Professor Kithure Kindiki. And then he goes there and checkmates Kindiki through Julius Bitok also. So it means the first top 3 serious ministries in the country. Actually, you go further and even at the one for national treasury, then you find also Dr. Kibicho. The top 4, these are challenging, placed strategically to checkmate the individuals. Because, for example, most people thought that William Ruto was going to have maybe a challenging as a minister for interior. Then he went for Professor Kithure Kindiki. Then now he has a challenging permanent secretary, but on top of it, there's Raila Omollo, who can actually do anything on behalf of Ruto. So that's number 2. Then number 3, something which is also coming out clearly here is that there is this small matter of regional balancing. When Kibaki took over control of government in 2002, there was what was then referred to as the Kikuyunization of the country. What William Ruto is currently doing is kind of Kalenjinization of the nation. If you read these appointments, even without counting, you will clearly tell that Kalenjin nation are a majority. We have 51 individuals. Out of these 51 individuals, we have 42 tribes. The first top four ministries already has four Kalenjins. Of course, the government belongs to them because they voted for them. But if you look at the other side, the Kikuyus also voted for this government the same way. So, in my view, as much as William Ruto has tried so hard to create regional balance, I'm seeing 2 Luos are here. There's another Kombodo guy, I think is a Luo from Nyakach. There are several Luya nation. There are several other communities, but the number of Kalenjin and to some extent Kikuyus in this list is something which should worry William Ruto himself. I know there's still an appointment there's still those appointments of the MDs of companies. There are still those of CAS, Chief Administrative Secretary. So we'll wait and see how they are going to unfold. But it is clear that these appointments are favoring the Kalenjin nation and then the Kikuyu nation. In fact, if you do a rough count, you'll realize that Kalenjins already have counted almost 14. Kikuyus, I think, are 10 Mount Kenya are almost 10 or 12 there. I don't know whether that's good, but of course, it also goes with the votes. But the Mount Kenya region gave Ruto more votes, if anything. Now, that's something which is coming out from this particular appointment. The other thing which is coming out very clearly is that this appointment is clearly focused on 2027 election. William Ruto is trying so hard to do 2 things. Number 1, remove Kikuyu Kikuyu leaders from critical ministries, then give the Kalenjin nation those ministries. I want to take you through just this list. No, I'm going to focus on that later. But if you look at this list, the appointment of Raila Omollo is supposed to persuade the Luo nation, or to some extent, the South Nyanza to Ruto side. In the last election, Bungoma shifted the equation in favor of Ruto by 200,000 votes. Ruto is figuring out that he can get those votes from the Luo nation. Then you go to Kampani, he has also given them several seats. And I was just reading a tweet, let me just get the tweet here, from another lady, not really a Facebook page. There's a lady called Sandra Kimani from Kirinyaga. She's saying, Wolololo, William Ruto, Kirinyaga just 1 PS, the home county to Azimio running mate, and the notorious PS, both of whom Kirinyaga fought off and gave only 14% of 350,000 votes. Kambas now have 2 PS, 2 CS, and 3 permanent secretaries. Now Wakamba walikupatia kura ngapi? I'm hurt and feel betrayed. What a travesty. So basically, there's that feeling. If you read the comments from the Kikuyu Nation, there's a feeling that they're being shortchanged. But for me, that's not because William Ruto wants. William Ruto is already focusing on 2027. The Kamba Nation, by giving them 2 PS, by giving them 3 permanent secretaries, by giving them 2 cabinet secretaries, it means the Kamba Nation, William Ruto is keen on having their votes. So that's also very, very important. Number 5, I also tend to think that William Ruto is learning from the former president, Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, and also from the failure by Uhuru Kenyatta, that he needs to control the government. The government must be under his grip completely. I want to show you how William Ruto is ensuring that the government is going to be under his grip, just by how he's made some of these appointments. Let me just show you. William Ruto made Rigathi Gachagua the deputy president. To control that ministry, there's a PS there. Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, there's a PS who is a Kalenjin, will help hold that. Ministry of Interior and National Administration, there is Julius Bitok who will do that. Then there is the National Treasury and Planning. William Ruto is ensuring that there's a gentleman there called Chris Kibicho who will be checkmating the cabinet secretary. The defense, William Ruto doesn't have a problem because that ministry is Aden Duale. Aden Duale ni mtu wa Ruto, so there's no worry there. So there, he has given him someone called Patrick Mario. Then you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. This is where Alfred Mutua is. William Ruto has decided that Korir Singoi, who is a close ally of him, will be the permanent secretary, Foreign Affairs. You go to gender, affirmative actions. I think that's one for Aisha Jumwa. William Ruto is not bothered there, so there is no really serious challenge in there. You go to Ministry of Roads and Transport. That one there, he gave it to Kipchumba Murkomen, right? So Kipchumba Murkomen is safe with Kipchumba Murkomen there. So there is no challenging to checkmate him there. There's just Joseph Muingai Mbugua, and then there is Mohamed Dagar. Then you go to Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development. The one which went to some new guy from Nakuru, some Kikuyu guy, who is going to ensure that William Ruto's land deals and everything is catered for in that ministry. Nixon Korir. So William Ruto is actually ensuring that everything is under his grip. And then you go to the Ministry of Information, Communication, and the Digital Economy. Professor Kesengani, who is this guy, is just going to be the State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications. But now the real ICT and digital economy is going to be checked by John Kipchumba Tanui. Ministry of Education, where he gave the Kisi guy, Machogu, the permanent secretary there is going to be a Kalenjin by the name Belio Kipsang. Then you go to Ministry of Agriculture, which he gave to his friends from Meru, Mithika Linturi. He's going to ensure that Hari Kimutai is going to be there. So basically, that's it. That's how William Ruto is going to ensure that the government is fully under his grip by ensuring that all his key allies are in strategic ministry. Where he doesn't have a minister, some of his guys are there. Number 6, William Ruto has also used these permanent secretaries to reward his loyalists and also the technocrats. People like Ray Omollo have been loyalists. People like Nixon Korir, you know, someone like Jonathan Mweke have been singing his praises all along. And also, if you look at the list, there's serious professionalism which is being injected into the cabinet secretaries. And lastly, I think the Kikuyu nation will have a bit of questions to ask themselves as far as the ministries are concerned. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.